last 15 years or so, I've spent a lot of time in stores, 4 to 5 hours every week, observing consumer behavior and observing the different kinds of stores that sell produce. So what I want to use is a series of photographs that show you all the aspects of merchandising, marketing, and then brand. And the variation that occurs within this industry, because there's many different types of sellers. And of course, there's thousands of different kinds of vendors to the retail sales and the food service sales group. Now, here's a photo that I took in Vancouver at a store called Stellan's. And what you'll notice is all of the activity that's going on in this relatively small produce area. 4 or 5 customers, a couple of produce clerks, and their job is always to make sure that the produce is nice. Also, they are very good at answering consumer questions. Whenever I shop there, they were always very helpful. Now, if you go to the next photo, what you're going to see is a store the picture was taken roughly 30 minutes later, and it was taken just 3 blocks from Strong store. You'll notice that there's no consumers and there's no produce clerks. Now, what you will notice, however, is really good bulk displays. Key points here. If you look closely at the oranges to your left and the avocados on the right of the photograph, you're going to see a variation in color, you're going to see a variation in ripeness. What happens here is that's not a good situation, because consumers tend to start picking produce, and very often displays fall apart. So consumers really don't like to shop in situations like that. You as a vendor, if you know this, however, what you would do is bring produce in that matches the competitor produce that are already on the shelf. In this case, being different is not good. In this case, being the same is good, and being dependable is the key for this kind of customer. Now, in this close-up of a bulk display, you're going to notice that the pears have 3 different PLUs. Now, that is typical in bulk displays. What you're also going to notice is the pears look similar in color and in quality. This is important to the retailer. It's important because they don't want consumers digging through the piles to get to the best pear. What they want is uniformity, so that consumers don't have to work at picking pears and putting it into their basket. You, as a vendor to this company, to this retailer, well, your job is to know what their pears look like and deliver quality pears that are similar, okay? And in this particular case, being different is not good. Being the same is good, but being dependable is the key. That you're going to do the job every time the same way, so that their product looks good to their customers. Now, what's different in this photo is that the oranges also have multiple PLUs, suggesting multiple vendors. And in this case, the oranges have different colors. This is not what you want. A retailer, as I mentioned before, wants similar, so that consumers aren't digging through the pile and disturbing the way the display looks. Your job, your account manager's job, is to understand what these oranges look like for this particular client. And what you want to do is deliver as close as possible to the same color as your competitors. Again, being different here is not good. Being the same, but being dependable, is what you need to be, and is what your brand needs to convey. And now, in this photo, what you're going to see is a beautiful display. This retailer is a very good retailer. And the key here is you'll notice the uniformity. All of their vendors are doing the same job, providing uniform quality and colors and size. Now we're going to switch to another aspect of merchandising, but it's more related to marketing. This photo, taken at an actual store, shows what I wouldn't call a very good product display. Might be a discounter, might be someone who just brought product in as a price buyer. You, as a vendor to this company, really shouldn't be selling this kind of product to this company. You might want to go to the buyer, take a picture. Maybe he doesn't even know that this is what the product looks like. Consumers aren't going to buy this. The cucumbers are yellow, they're crooked. It should be a much better presentation, especially since we know we're capable of it. So one advice that I would bring to you is, number one, again, come back to the stores, see what your product looks like on the display. If that is your product and you're not happy with that, it impacts your brand. Take a picture, show the buyer. A lot of times the buyers don't see what's going on out there because they're really busy. They depend on their receivers and their produce clerks to display the product in its best form. Okay, now we're going to go to another picture. You notice on your left, you're going to see a very nice point of sale poster. The melons look beautiful in that poster, but the melons on the display, the cantaloupes, are a disaster. Who's taking care of this? Again, whose responsibility is this? The retailers decide how they're going to display. You can't impact them. What you can do, though, is know that this is happening. This happens to be a major brand. And consumers, when they see one melon that's got these spots on it, they're not going to buy any. Now, what you can do here is, why would we waste our time putting a point of sale poster up that's beautifully designed, probably cost thousands and thousands of dollars in time to design it, only to have the produce around it look really terrible. So with this kind of store, what you want to do in your marketing program is not worry about point of sale products. Or your account manager needs to be very aware of what's going on and bring it to the attention of the buyer. And now here's another interesting photo. Here you are, you're a vendor to this particular store, and you're designing labels for your marketing program and your brand. And you're designing a label for blueberries. They all are purple or blue, and guess what? You've just designed a label that looks like everybody else's. So how is the consumer going to know who you are, why you exist? You need to understand why it is important to go and see the merchandising side of your client. It's because you want to see what the competitor product looks like, and if you want to be different, you need to be different. These are all the same. To a particular consumer that just comes to the blueberry display, or the blackberry display actually, what they see is just blackberries. They don't really look at labels. They just pick the package up and they turn it around, and if it's good, they put it in their basket. And so here my point is, know what your competitor products look like in the display so that you can make your product different enough that it stands out. And here we have pictures, several pictures actually, that are going to come that really irritate me. And the reason it irritates me is I've spent about a month and a half a few years ago going to various stores in Ontario. In Ontario, we have what's called the Foodland Ontario program. It's a branding program that focuses on buying local. But here's the problem that I discovered, and it was very clear. The product and the way we display it matters. And when you're trying to sell local, it seems like we all think that consumers are stupid and they're going to buy the product just because it's local. Well, they're not. Look at this display. Look at the quality of the peaches. Look at the marks on the peaches. Would you buy this? And I would suggest you wouldn't. What we have to do is we have to make sure that if we have a local food branding program that puts a lot of vendors together, we have to develop quality standards that are good enough to show people this is actually what local produce is about. Now here, the next picture shows this even clearer. Here we have nectarines from Ontario. The reason I put my watch in this picture is because those nectarines are not much bigger than the watch. And on top of that, we're putting it in a plastic container. And the whole world is moving away from plastic containers. When you look at this particular store, they had beautiful display of California peaches and nectarines. They were triple the size of this. Which do you think the consumers are going to buy? Why do we go through this trouble of having a local brand when we think we can just put in the store whatever we want? No, we can't do that. We have to be very, very conscious of the marketing effort and the money that's spent on producing local brands and producing the qualities that you would be proud to display, not proud to have consumers walk away from and go buy from California in the same store. This picture shows a lady sorting through some corn. The question I'm asking you is, why do we make the consumers work so hard? This is a local product, and we're making them, first of all, we're making them look for the really good quality corn. Second of all, anything that they pick up and don't like, they throw it back, unsheathed, back into the bin. It makes the whole bin look very, very sloppy. Again, I come back to the point. If you're going to produce local and brand under a local association, you have to make sure that what the consumers are getting, they know they're getting. They don't have to grab a whole bunch to find one that's perfect. They can grab any one of them and it'll work for them. Now the final picture of this series is this particular one. And I'm really proud of this one because this is the way you should display local produce. Notice the potatoes are fresh looking, the baskets are full. It just makes you want to go and buy not one basket, but 2 or 3 to take home and share with your friends. This is what merchandising tells you. You go and you look at the store and you're proud of your product that you have in that store and that consumers are buying from you. I can assure you that anybody that sees that All-Star label will buy it automatically. Okay, in this photo, what I want to show you and explain to you is why we want to avoid doing what's convenient and start doing what's right. You notice that this is a bag of peppers. And within that bag, there's peppers with PLU stickers on them. Well, I have to tell you, the consumers hate PLU stickers. They just hate them. And what we're doing here is, because it's convenient, we take stickered peppers that have been stickered on the production line and stick them in this bag. So the bag itself doesn't need this PLU. It has its own PLU and SKU. So why are we putting stickers of peppers in this bag when we know that consumers don't like them? Do what's right, not what's convenient. Now, this picture is